All right, so we are back on the Porsche 944, 1984. I have prepped out some areas here with primer that I know just from visual inspection I'm gonna have to pay a little more attention to. This is just like the thickest paint in the world. This car's been resprayed before, but I mean it's pretty aggressive. So we're gonna go through with some 80 grit initially, just clean up everything. I am gonna do a lot of the sanding, get it done, and then clean the car. And then I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna remove the door cards, door handles, mirrors, which I wish I didn't have to do, but there's a lot of like components. When they resprayed this, they did kind of a shitty job and they painted the gaskets and everything, so I have to go through and fix all that. I'm gonna have to weld this tumbler hole for the old alarm system because that's gone. But yeah, we just got some work to do here. I've already stripped out all the lights. I'll probably take this off if I can get in there. I just replaced that, so it's fun. But yeah, there's just some areas that need to be cleaned up, and this paint needs to be leveled. The fiberglass roof needs a little work. I don't know, we'll see how deep we get into that. The gasket's not on there right now, so it is sitting a little lower. There are some little dents and dings here and there that I'm just going to go through and sand down, put a little skim coat on, and we're going to call that good. I'm going to paint this trim just with the car because I don't feel like taking it off. This gasket that's in here is old, and couldn't find that one online. But yeah, we go through and then we'll give her a proper wash, wipe down. I'm going to take out the washer nozzles here because they painted those last time. So yeah, we got our work cut out for us. First thing I need to do though is get this up on quick jacks because I'm 6'3" and this car is really low to the ground. So yeah, you can see some of this was single stage, some had been reshot again and then a clear coat had been thrown on it. So it's got a lot. This isn't the original color of the car. It's actually, let's see if I can find a rag. Probably not. Anyway, it's actually this color. I don't know how well that pops up. That's the original color. So we're not going to that, and I'm not going to this, I don't know, some type of red. It's not guards red either. But it's like they did a really good job painting the door, and then they did a shitty job of painting the rest of the car. So you can see here, if you don't take these off, this flexes and it chips the paint. So we'll see what we can do about that. This is not going to be concourse level of paint job. A, because I'm not that good. I don't have the equipment for it. I don't have a paint booth. And this is just kind of a fun car to dink around with. So I'm not going to sweat it. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on myself to do this or that or the other thing. I'm just going to drive it. So I don't really care. There are some things that I'm not going to get to before I paint, like fixing that. So I got a hole here in the wheel well from where the drain plug had gotten clogged up and it had just eaten away. So I'm going to use a handsaw. The gas tank's right on the other side of this, so I don't really want to be welding. I'm going to put like some rust treat on here. I'm going to grind down as much of this rust as I can, and then I'm probably just going to fiberglass it because I don't feel like dropping the transmission and dropping the fuel tank just to fix this. Maybe one day. That fuel tank's not going to last forever, so we'll see. Yeah, so got our work cut out for us. This is not a how-to paint a car. I will just be popping in here and there and showing progress updates. So, all right, let's get started. All right, quick jack is on. It is locked in. So now I guess the actual fun can start. Really hate doing body work. Just the preparation for paint is insane. Every little piece of trim's got to come off. So not looking forward to that because I don't have a ton of time. So I'm just gonna get going here. I really just want to grab a sander and start sanding, but I think I'm gonna pull the door cards first. I'm gonna pull the door latches so that the door I can open and close it as I need to when I actually get to the painting process. And I'm gonna get these mirrors off, whatever those deals are called again, the washer nozzles. I'm gonna get those off, and then yeah, there's not a ton left, and I'm just looking, and there's like little dents and dings here and there, and I'm gonna do what I can, but this is just to make her look a little pretty going down the road. And I don't want to be sitting there parking 45 spots away from somebody just because I get a little ding, because I can always, this is a DIY paint job, so I can always shoot it again. So I think we're just going to go with that, and if it sucks, I'll sand it down and I will try once more. Alright, this is already turning into something more than I wanted it to. Got the mirrors off, door handles, I have to pull the one off on the opposite side. I pulled the door cards out. Now, there's some weird stuff going on. The mirror had been rewired in an awful example of electrical work. Yeah, I got her tuned up, ready with some 80 grit to just kind of go over and see what we're working with. Driver's mirror had been JB welded, so I couldn't even get at the release bolt. I had to chisel all that out, and then all the wiring's up here. I just ordered a new mirror off eBay, so I was like, screw it. Yep, I do got to take off that door handle still, but we got all this off, trim. I'm gonna pull that off. I gotta take this interior trim off here. Let's see here. I did kind of make a decision over here because I this is a mess. It looks kind of like a jack or something slipped or something backed into it. I don't know what. It was on a farm, so it could have been anything. That is beyond my skill set, if I'm being honest. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to make it as straight as possible. I'm going to pop this out. It's pretty aggressive, but I'm going to try to pull this out, kind of line this up a bit. And then I just went ahead and I bought those fiberglass side skirts that kind of flare out at the bottom rather than doing this curve. I don't care, guys. It looks pretty good on some of the models I've seen. But there's a lot of cancer in these rockers. I'm going to grind down as far as I can. The inner rocker is good. It's solid. Like, there's no rust. It's just, for whatever reason, I don't know if there's an issue with the galvanizing process. There is a factory seam here, so maybe there was, when they repainted it, I'm assuming this does go all the way through the factory paint as well. But it wasn't a great paint. I mean, they just sprayed over this. They didn't even, this isn't even scuffed up. That's still got metallic flake in it, and it looks really good. So that's why all this was chipping, because this was kind of an afterthought. I mean, they didn't even take off the inner sheeting. They just sprayed the whole thing. Which, whatever. It's getting covered up by the door card anyway, but I'm gonna do what I can with this, because I'm gonna be the one driving it, so whatever. But there's a little hole here, and I don't know, it kind of looks like there was already Bondo here, so for whatever reason this line here is very aggressive. It's like they put just clear coat down here, and then this was all single stage. But yeah, I got to go through where the factory, I couldn't find these, and I don't really like the look of them anyway, so those are getting deleted. I still got to cut that, weld the hole there, and fix this up a little bit. But I'm just gonna hit the whole car with 80 grit, at least the majority of it, and just kind of get her down through some of the shitty paint, because it doesn't look like they did a ton of prep work to it. So I don't want to paint over something that's not bonded that well. So I don't know. We'll see how crazy we get. But yeah, that's going to be the solution for this, because I don't want to mess with that for too long. I don't have a lot of time to work on this. It's taken me a year to get to this point to where I could even get back to working on this car, at least the bodywork. So I'm just going to do what I can. I'm tired of looking at this gnarly red and this, and I would just like it to look okay from 20 feet. So that's the route we're going here. Yeah, so I'm gonna get to it. I don't have a tripod or anything. I'm not trying to be on film here a lot, so you're just gonna get what you get. I will update as I do, and we'll go over it, but that's where we're at on the 944. Alright, this is taking an astronomical amount of time, longer than it should. Maybe not should, but just is. I am just, you find things as you start sanding, and it's a pretty big pain in the ass on a 40-year-old car. Some pretty good cancer there, somehow not eaten all the way through. It's a galvanized car, but the rocker panels I don't think are. They don't appear to be, because it's the only part of the car that rusts, from what I've seen. Yeah, I got the sails off. Those are the original paint color. They're just dirty. Yeah, I went through 320. I think I've covered about 90% of this car. I gotta finish up the bumper here, or the rear hatch area, and then yeah, I've globbed this on because I want to sand it one more time and then just call it a day. I don't even care where I'm at. I was gonna weld this shut. This is not the thickest steel in the world, and for whatever reason, whatever setting I put it on, I keep burning through. So there's, and maybe somebody in the comments can tell me, there is body filler or Bondo everywhere on this car under the factory paint. So I don't know if they put a skim coat on the cars, but I mean, it's literally like just about everywhere. And there was no dent here, there was no rust here. This is just where the alarm key was, and there was a crack, so I knew there was filler. So I started cutting that out, and it was a 1/4 inch thick here for some reason. Anyways, rather than mess with this, I'm not filling that in with body filler. I've just ordered a used alarm key tumbler that also has the rubber piece that goes around it. And I'm just gonna, once this sets, I'm gonna sand it, and then I'll notch that back out, and I'm gonna put that in. And it's not gonna be hooked up to anything, but it's just gonna be there. I don't care. That's the way it was. So we're taking it back to that. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some dinner. See you later. All right, I have to start taping now, so I'm gonna start taping. I got music playing in the background. I'm not monetized anyway, so fuck it, don't care. Just cursed, whatever. It's pretty late. It's like midnight, so I'm gonna do what I can here, get this taped off. Maybe I'll get it primed tonight. I don't know. Oh my God, we're on another day here. Just putting some glazing putty down, getting ready to do like a final sand. Keep saying final sand, and I keep finding other things to sand. I gotta pull these covers off. I'm gonna paint those separate, and so I can clean up this edge. There's like, this car's had a hard life. There's probably better examples out there that you don't have to mess with as much, but here we are. Yeah, so really getting this fender knocked out here. I'm starting to feel pretty good about it. I was letting this set up last night, so we're gonna take this all down. I got some more glazing putty on this. This is actually pretty smooth, but yeah, we're gonna sander flush here, find any low spots, take care of them. This back is honestly in pretty good shape, so I don't have to do really anything with the back, which is nice. Same with this side. Really, there was like a spot down here where there's just surface rust, so I took it down to bare metal, hit it with a little primer, and then I put glazing putty on it. I'm going to sand that smooth. There was a little cancer down here, but it was surface, so I was able to hit that with a rust inhibitor treatment, and then I'm just gonna block that real quick. Just gonna block this today as well, and then hopefully we're done with this side. Got a little bit to do on the roof, but yeah, we're getting close, which is cool because this is the part I hate more than anything. Like, I'm excited to just watch this and see what it looks like. But yeah, that hood turned out pretty good. You know, we'll see the longevity on that. I don't like putting body filler on anything, especially something flexible like a hood, but would have had to take the entire hood down to bare metal, and that seemed odd to me. You can see bare metal, body filler, initial primer, initial base coat, and then it looks like a skim coat, original base coat, or this is just multiple coats of the base coat, and then the top coat here, the original single stage, and then there's a primer here, and then this, I don't know, this shitty fake Ferrari red. It's not guards red, but whatever is right here. So there's body filler from the factory, unless somebody, I haven't found really dents on the hood, but there's a layer of body filler right on top of the metal. I don't know if they do that because it's galvanized or what, but that's the way that it is. I literally find it everywhere on the car, in just random places. So I don't know. Yeah, like here again, body filler, top coat, some coats of primer. This was definitely damaged because there's a dent. And then where else did I find random body filler? Oh, like this whole wing. This was damaged and they didn't have body filler there. This wasn't damaged, but they had body filler and it was cracked. Or at least it looked like it was underneath the original coat. So bare metal. See, I can't see where I'm pointing. Bare metal, primer, and the original base coat. And then you go down here and like this whole thing is like, there's a good coating of body filler here, which is weird to me, but yeah. So I don't know. I think everything else is, you know, pretty good. Like, I'm not going to mess with too much more. A couple holes down there I'm just going to patch quick, but I don't really care. about that because I am doing this, whatever you call it. I'm covering it up. I'm going to put a side skirt on it because I'm just not a body guy and this stuff's time consuming and I am feeling overwhelmed with it. So anyways, when this cuts to the next clip, I'll be somehow further along. Well. Just wash her off. Yeah, she's not perfect, but it is. I'm done sanding. I'll have to do some wet sanding in between coats. But other than that, we're shooting a single stage satin paint. So I'm gonna do a primer here. I'm gonna go to dinner first. It's funny, this paint almost looks orange. Yeah, almost looks orange. Still got to do that sun visor, but she's sanded. She is sanded. That looks so, I tried pulling some of this metal out and it's so pinched. I couldn't even get it to move. So that's gonna look ugly for a minute until I get that ground effects kit. I don't know, maybe one day I'll cut it all out, do the rocker panels, but that's not happening today. It's not happening before this gets painted. And if it's annoying to some people, well, it's my car. Don't care. Hood turned out awesome. Pretty pumped about it. Yeah. Roof looks like it's gonna be fine. I might just get a Targa top if I can find one cheap enough. They're pretty proud of them. That'd be ideal. Perfect world, Targa top, and I wouldn't even mess with this. It's just like one more thing. I'm playing like I'm just gonna be able to paint here and not have to do anything else, but oh yeah. This is gonna be a nightmare to paint, to fix. I don't know. Maybe just coat it in Rhino Guard or something. I mean, it is beat to shit. It's all cracked. Spiders cracked. But still got that. Still got to do the headlamp covers. But yeah, crushing it. Alright, so it wasn't recording. That's pretty cool. Can't believe it, but I'm done with this corner. I'm as done as I care about. It is not great, but it's pretty good. I need to put like some glazing putty down. So there's some pinholes and whatnot from using. I had to use a little more body filler than I wanted to. This was fender, honestly, probably just needed to be cut and replaced, but I mean, then what are you doing? So it's as good as it's gonna get. It's good enough to where I'll feel fine driving it down the road and won't really care. And if, you know, I die one day, the next person can take it to a body shop and get it done for real. Okay, where are we? So everything else has been hit with 320 at least. I am gonna pop the roof off because I'm gonna do that on a stand, just because I think it'd be easier rather than having to reach all the way across the roof. Plus I've got a little bit of fiberglass work to do, which is annoying. I don't care. I'm gonna have this thing in primer today for sure. Maybe a base coat on it. You know, there's just, you start digging into these things, and every little corner, I was just gonna scuff it up and paint it, and that was gonna be fine. And then I started fixing one thing, and then you're fixing another, and then you're like, okay, this is way more than I wanted to do, but we're here. So might as well just do it once and get it close to done. Still a couple things that I need to tidy up. I decided to pull these covers off, and I'm going to paint those separate as well, because there's just overspray all over the place. And the inside of the engine bay is the factory color, which is dark, so I don't think it'll show up that bad, but I just didn't want 3 different colors of paint on here. I have some principles. Just realized I hadn't fixed that. Another area here that there's a substantial amount of freaking filler. I don't know why, unless there's just no way they did that, unless like it was Mako, or I can see this being like a Mako paint job because it's shitty. So they might have slapped body filler on a lot of this and just said screw it. But I mean, as you can see, even under the mirrors before the base coat, there's filler. So I don't know, maybe they just weren't happy with the press, I guess. I don't know, you'd think it would have been pretty smooth, but Germans, so who knows. Yeah, you know, discovering more filler down there. When I got through the original base coat, there's filler down there. I did go ahead and scuff this up. I gotta remove all this shitty, see, when they repainted it, they didn't even scuff the base coat up under here, so like all this has been flecking off. So I'm gonna sand that down, get primed. And yeah, so we're gonna clean that up. I'm not gonna go crazy. Like I said, I still have to tape everything off and get it ready. I gotta wash it too, so I'm gonna wash it, and then yeah, I got a lot of work left to do, but it's whatever. And then I still haven't touched this lower valance, which sucks because I just noticed it was cracked here. There's a lot of spider cracking in the paint. I mean, this thing's plastic or rubber, plastic, rubber, some type of weird flexi plastic. But I don't have a different one, so I'm going to sand down what I can, and we're just going to shoot it because I don't care. It's pretty low to the ground. I think it'll look fine. These are hard to source, the fog lamps. I mean, they're the ones you find are a couple $100, and they're just as old as the ones I took out. The unfortunate part is mine were all cracked, and then got absolutely destroyed when I tried removing them to replace the lens with some aftermarket lenses. So that didn't happen. And then I accidentally bought replacement fog lamps that I thought were the ones for this, but they're actually for a Porsche 911. So those are sitting on a shelf somewhere. Cool that I bought that. They don't even fit in here. So I might just find some fog lamps that are about the same size and just drop them in there, because I can't seem to find these hella ones, and I'm not willing to pay, you know, a third of the price I paid for the whole car on a set of fog lamps. I already just did that with the ground effects kit, which is annoying, but I just, man, this gash is bad over here. It's bad. It is bad. And I'm not cutting that out because this is just a car, and I'm not a body shop, so my welding skills are okay. But I would just be I would spend a month on that probably, with the amount of time that I have. So we're just gonna cover it up. It's not rusty. I just hit it with some etching primer, and I hit it with this fast etch from Eastwood. This stuff's awesome. If you have rust on anything you're working on, this stuff is legit. It's some type of acid, but it just eats rust and leaves the metal bare. It's crazy. Chemicals. But yeah, I got a couple more things to do. I'm going to patch that hole down there. And but yeah, that's going to remain, because I'm not going to mess with it. Don't care. I'll do what I can with it, but I'm not going to not gonna dink around too much. I don't have the time, and kind of just want to drive it and have fun with the car. So that's the goal. I do have to find where I put them. I'll have to paint these separate. The little caps, all the mounts are broken. Like half of them are still on the car. You know, you couldn't get one screw out. And they were broken anyway before I even tried to remove them. But yeah, there's still an exhaust leak. I got a little oil drip underneath the front end. That's from the balance shaft bearing on the lower side, which is annoying because it's kind of hard to get to. I don't know if I'll get to that at any point anytime soon, or if I'll just add oil here and there. So we'll see. Right now I just keep a good amount of, well, that stuff, the oil drip dust. But yeah, so that's where we're at. All right, car is primed. I haven't done the headlight buckets yet, or I haven't done that, and that's not getting done. I don't have time. Haven't done the mirrors yet either, but yeah, she's got primer on it. I gotta let it set for an hour, so I'm gonna go mow the lawn, and yeah, honestly, I'm blown away with how straight it is. Like, it's kind of blowing my mind. There's definitely some defects, but I'm doing a satin finish, and I feel like if I did a gloss finish, this would probably look pretty decent. We'll see. If I hate the satin, I'll just wet sand it, and I'll throw a polyurethane, or I'll throw a clear coat on it. So, all right. There she is. All right. So, got one coat on, got the tack coat on right now. I know this is a stark difference. I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty sick. This is a satin paint, so this is actually a pain in the ass to paint with. We'll see how she turns out. Like I said, this is just a tack coat that I threw on. Just waiting for it to off gas a bit. I'm gonna come in and shoot another coat. I've got bugs in here. Everything is flying around. Little bastard. Really nothing I can do about that. I don't have a paint booth. So this is what we got. It's what we're working with here. So there's already a lot of trash in the paint. It is what it is, I guess. You know, just gonna have to let it happen. I don't care. I'm excited. I'm really pumped to drive this thing, and I think it looks sick. I like black. All right, sick. I'll probably do 2, maybe 3 coats. My next coat is gonna go on in about a half hour, and I am going to shoot that one kind of thick. All right, take it easy.